You are joining us once again while protesters are on the street in Minnesota. You were with us when we were covering the protests of the killing of George Floyd last year. What is it like for you to be back seeing this again in Minnesota?
Well, thank you, Lawrence. It's great to be with you. I feel like I think a lot of people feel on the streets of Brooklyn Center tonight and all across my state, a sense of exhaustion, grief, and also anger and frustration. I mean, how many times do we have to see a Black man die, be killed, be murdered at the hands of law enforcement? And it keeps happening over and over again. I was talking today or communicating with my friend Valerie Castile, who's the mother of Philando Castile, who died in another traffic incident with her son, Philando. And Valerie said, how many more panels, how many more expert groups do we have to have bringing forward ideas before something finally changes? She says, I want solutions. And that is what I see and feel in Brooklyn Center and in my community of Minneapolis tonight.
You have said that this is another incident of what you call over-policing. How would you control that?
What I hear from folks that live in North Minneapolis and Brooklyn Center and in communities of color all over my state is they feel over-policed and underprotected. So when they need help from law enforcement, they can't find it. But when they are simply driving and minding their own business, they end up being pulled over in a traffic stop that could be fatal. That has got to change. That is the system of policing in our country and in my state that has got to change. And we know what to do. We just have to find the will to do it. In the legislation that we put forward after the tragic murder of George Floyd almost a year ago, we put forth the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act that would help to get at the challenges we have, holding police officers accountable, addressing the issues of qualified immunity, getting rid of these excessive use of force standards that we have in police departments all over this country. Those would be some specific things that we can do. Yet right now, those are being stopped in the United States Senate, and that is a tragedy that is going to continue to be a tragedy unless we take action.
Senator, what is your confidence level in the Washington County District Attorney's Office to handle this case? And should it be handled the same way the George Floyd case was handled and move to the Attorney General, the state Attorney General's jurisdiction?
Well, I think the most important thing is that the person who is prosecuting the case has some distance from the law enforcement that are the defendant, that is the defendant in this case. So, I don't know the prosecutor personally in the county. I have great confidence in what Attorney General Ellison is doing right now with the Derek Chauvin trial. I think that he is prosecuting the case vigorously. And that is what we need. That is what the community wants to see. Somebody who is really has all of their heart and all of their energy into getting accountability for these cases. Because you need to have justice for the killings of Daunte Wright and George Floyd. But you also have to be able to address the systems that allow this to happen over and over again.
And what about at the federal level? Is there anything that can be done from your position in the Senate?
Well, we should be passing right now. We should be taking up the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, and that would make a huge difference for our ability to stop the worst of these excessive use of force standards and also make it easier to hold police officers accountable. But the other thing, to be a little bit optimistic in this, such a grim moment, is that there are examples of innovation happening in local police departments all over the country. And I propose legislation that would have the federal government support those innovations as we reimagine what public safety can look like. And if we were able to pass my legislation as well, we'd be able to support those not experiments, but efforts to really try to change the way we do this over policing and under protecting so that those local departments can actually make the kind of changes that they need. That would make a difference too.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.